Might be the ugliest thing that I've ever made, or it might just look terrible. I don't know. Hello and welcome to the Faded Wildflower Crochet. My name is Rachel, and today is another episode of Smash That Stash, which is just a series here on the channel where I try to get rid of some of the copious amounts of yarn that I have on the shelf back here. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different than normal because instead of just doing a bunch of different projects, I'm going to focus on one project where I'm going to be using some dies to help me make, hear me out, another Hexagon cardigan. Now, is it the right season to be making sweaters? No, but okay, I was gonna try to come up with some sort of excuse, but I don't have one. I just wanna make another Hexagon cardigan and I have free will. So that's what we're gonna do today. So I first saw this concept of using a dies to roll for different yarn colors from Michelle Jasic. Still don't know how to say her last name. And I know I reference her in like every one of these videos, but she is one of the main crochet YouTubers that I watch, but she did this concept around the holidays. It was Advent time where she used the dies to roll for different colors of granny squares. And then Viney Maple Killian over at Viney Maple has a whole series where she rolls the dice to decide on different colors for projects she's working on. And I love that series, by the way. It's one of my favorite things to watch. And so I thought we would do this today. Now, I have done this one other time for a Patreon video where I rolled the dice to help me make a hat, and it was so much fun. So we're going to be doing that to make a Hexagon cardigan. So I do have this set of dice right here that belongs to my husband. It's just different, like larger sides of dice. I think I'm gonna go all the way for this D20 and pick 20 different colors off of my shelf. And we're gonna actually try to get rid of some scraps today. I really wanna get rid of some of those bits and bobs that I just have back there. So we're gonna go for this where there's 20 different colors, but I think I'm gonna just grab one of these 6-sided dice. I think that's gonna be the right amount to roll for how many rows. So I'm gonna roll for the colors with this one and the amount of rows with this one. So the first step is, of course, to go pick out 20 different colors of yarn. So I'm gonna go do that. Okay, here is the color palette that we are working with today. Now, as you can see, some of these are just like tiny little scraps. Some of them are huge skeins, but they all are yarns that I just want to get rid of. I want to use up. And I do think that these shades all go together quite nicely. We've got greens and blues, pinks and purples. They all are my favorite colors. Those are my 4 favorite colors. So I just think that they look really good. And now some of these do look like they are the same color. Like these two look really similar and these two look really similar. They all are different yarns, I promise. And with some of these, this is all I've got, like that bright green right there. Once it's gone, it's gone. Now some of these I do have more of, like this purple right here, this pink right here, that blue, I do have more of. So if they run out, I can use up some more. That is what we are working with. So this is going to be the numbering. So 1, he starts here and all the way through 20 here. So without further ado, let's get to our first roll. I'm so excited. Okay, so I do have this basket to do our rolling in. And this dice is like quite heavy. Also, don't judge the fact that my hands are still red. I just dyed my hair last night and I swear I used gloves, but somehow they always still end up looking red for a couple of days. Anyway, we are gonna do our first roll. What is that? 2. Okay, so that's this one. And now I need to roll for how many rows? 6. I don't know if this one's gonna make it 6 rows, but we're gonna try. And if I run out of a yarn and I don't have more of it, like I don't think I have more of this one, then we will just re-roll for the rest of the amount of rows, if that makes any sense. Well, we are off to an excellent start because look, this was just enough to make 6 rounds of this color. So we are down 1 color already, so let's go roll again. Okay, time to roll. 10, 1, well that was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this one right here. And how many rounds? 1. Okay. Okay, so here is where we're at, and oh my goodness, these two colors look so good together. The dice is onto something here. I love this yarn. I still have more of it left. This is Big Twist Living, which I love it so much. I know that Hirschner's is going to be carrying Big Twist, but I don't know if they're going to be carrying every line of Big Twist that was there before or what's going to happen. I'm still waiting to hear, but I really hope they get Big Twist Living because I love it. I love the variegated ones too, but I also love the solid ones. It's just such a nice yarn. Anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and roll one more and do one more set of rounds, however many the dice tells us to do, and then I'm going to take a break. Okay, time to roll again. 8. Which would be this one right here. How many rounds? 5. Okay. Okay, so we are trucking right along with this sweater. It's already getting quite large. I am also wearing gloves. I know they are not aesthetic, but I have found out that I think I have a little bit of hypermobility in particularly my thumb and my wrist. And I have found that the compression gloves really help. I've actually found that they help not only for crocheting, but just like throughout the day wearing them. I think I may even start wearing them at night. If you have any hypermobility issues, let me know what you do. Mine's not severe by any means, but like my thumb can bend back a lot. And like while I'm crocheting, I do find that it like wants to bend back. Again, I know some people can like bend their thumb all the way back to their wrist. I can't bend that far, but I really do find that the compression gloves help quite a bit. So anyway, though, I am really liking the way this looks, but it is a lot of green. I am hoping we get to some of the other colors. I did finish the first ball of this color of green, and I switched to a second one, so I still have this much left of this shade. So I am going to go take a little bit of a break, and then we will get back into it. But I'm enjoying this so far. I have to tell you guys what just happened. I was taking my break, and I went outside to go pick up dog poop, as one does. And I saw Lily sniffing something really intensely, and I didn't know what it was. And I went over, and it was the snake, the snake that I saw in my front yard. I wasn't expecting to see it in my backyard, but there it was, and I think it was trying to eat something. I'm going to put a clip of it, so if you're scared of snakes, look away for a minute. But you guys probably think, based on what I've shown you of like all of the bunnies and all of like the pretty flowers and stuff, you probably think that I live like out in the country or in a small town. I don't. We live in a city. I mean, it's 90,000 people. It's not huge, but it is a city. But I feel like we have so much more wildlife here than we did when we lived in a small town. We've had, we have the snake now. We have bunnies all the time. We have squirrels. We have birds. We also, our cameras caught two foxes one time. I don't know. There was a beaver in the creek that's like right across from me. I mean, I don't know. We have a lot of wildlife here. But anyway, let's go ahead and roll again. Okay, time to roll again. That is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're getting this super bright color. How many rows? Because this is not a lot. 6. Yeah, we're definitely not going to be able to do 6 rows of this. So what I'm going to do is once this runs out, I will roll again for however many rows I have left. We'll do the rest of those rows in a different color. But first, we will finish this one up, which is green. Again, this whole sweater is going to be green. Okay, so that didn't quite get me to a whole round. I almost got there, but not quite. So that is 2 yarns down so far. And now that we have a couple of yarns down, I decided I am just going to scoot them over so I don't have to like remember to count where the ones were missing. So I'll just scoot them all over. And if I get a 19 or a 20, I'll just roll again. The next biggest dice that I have here is a size 12. So I will go to that if I ever get down to only 12 yarns, but we're just working with what we have. So I am just going to go ahead and roll for the rest of the 6 rounds that we got. Hello, you guys. It is the next day, and I apologize for my no makeup glasses appearance, but I woke up this morning and I was just like, absolutely not. I cannot wear a contact. I can't think about putting makeup on my face. Do you guys ever have days like that where you just like feel too sensitive? I honestly don't even want to be wearing these glasses, but they do help me see. Fun fact, if I ever talked about this on the channel before, I only need correction in my left eye. My right eye is 20/20. I was born with a lazy eye in my left eye. It turned inwards, and I had a lot of physical therapy that corrects it, but I still have just a little bit of fuzziness in that eye, so I need a contact or glasses. But I would be one of those rare people that a monocle would actually work for me. Anyway, here is how far I've gotten on my sweater, and there is a little bit of pink right here because I ran out of this blue, and I actually had one skein of it that you saw, and then I had a whole other skein, not a full skein, but like a little bit more of it. I'm really bad about just like grabbing yarn from my shelf and not checking to see if I have some of that color already. Anyway, so I ran completely out of this blue and had to roll again, and I finally got some pink, but it's just a little bit there, but I'm hoping that it comes together in the end. I don't know. Does it look bad? I don't know. We're trusting the process. We're trusting the dice on this one. It might be the ugliest thing that I've ever made or the cutest. We don't know yet. So without further ado, we are going to roll again, and possibly this could be the last roll for this side if it's a high one. We'll see. Okay, let's see what we get. 16? So that would be, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're finally getting this really big pink yarn. Now let's roll for the rose. 1. Of course, it's only 1. Hello, you guys. It is the next day, and I ended up taking a longer than expected break yesterday. I was just going to run the vacuum over the floors, but it turned into very much a if you give a mouse a cookie situation where I was like, well, if I'm going to vacuum the floors, I really should clean the TV stand first. And if I'm already cleaning the TV stand, then I might as well clean the bookshelf and the coffee table. And I just ended up cleaning the whole house. So that was a thing. Anyway, I did end up finishing this first panel. So I was not able to complete the 4 rounds that the dice asked because I got 2 rounds in and it's already long enough. So I did have to, as you see, end up rolling again because I ran out of this green, and we finally got some purple. But since I finished the round early, I have this much of the purple left, which is not a lot, but I am gonna go ahead and add it back to our colors over here. And I think we only have 15. Do we have 15 or 16 colors left? I'm not sure, but we are going to go ahead and start working on the second panel. So I am going to go roll for that. Okay, what are we going to start out with? 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there's not much of this one. Let's see, how many rounds? 5. So we probably don't have enough for 5. I'm not sure though, because this is starting out, so we might have enough. We will see. Close but no cigar. I do have to roll again for all of this much of a round, but I'm gonna go do that. You guys, I am a cotton-headed Nanny Muggins. I realized this far in that I only did 5 points. For a Hexagon cardigan, you need 6 points. So now I need to decide, do I go ahead and just do this the way the dice told me to? I guess I should, even though I kind of hate this because these 2 colors are too similar. I don't know, should I just completely start over? Maybe I should just completely start over. It gives me a fresh start. My mistake actually gave me a fresh start with something I hated. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna completely re-roll. Okay, so I did finish the first 2 rolls properly this time, okay? This is actually a hexagon this time. Now, I think it's funny because this started with the blue and then went to the green, and then this one started with the green and went to blue. It's very similar, just in reverse. Now, these aren't the 2 exact same colors because I ran out of this one, but it's similar. It's similar. So anyway, I am going to go roll again for another color, but I'm definitely liking this much better. I'm glad I started over. I know I cheated a little, but I'm much happier with it now. Okay, here is how far I've gotten with the second panel. I hoped to get a lot further today, but obviously since I messed up on the first however many rounds, this is all I've got. But I have to say I'm much happier with how this looks than how the other one looks, so no regrets there. Let's look at this compared to the other side. Hold on. Okay, so here is what both sides are looking like together. You can kind of sort of get an idea of how it's going so far. I'm not sure how I feel. I feel like these first few rows here look almost kind of similar to this. They are slightly different colors, but it is similar. We didn't get any pinks or purples yet. I don't know. I do kind of feel like the purple here sort of ruins this side. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm hoping we at least get some pink and purple on this side to balance it out. We will see as we go along. So this is all I'm going to finish for today. It is currently Friday, and I don't know if I'm going to work on this over the weekend or not. I might do this crazy thing called taking the weekend off. I know, a novel concept for me. I never take any time off, but my hands feel like they kind of need a break. My brain feels like it might need a break, so I don't know. If I decide I want to work in it, I'll throw a little montage in here, but otherwise I will catch you guys Monday. Hello, you guys. It is a few days later, and I have been sick again, unfortunately. And I also feel like I have been working on this sweater for approximately 97 years, but I think I only have 3 more rounds of this, and then we can sew them together and decide what to do for the cuffs and the ribbing and all of that. This panel, as you can see, has so much green on it. I do still have this much left of this color right here. There was also several repeats. I think this is the exact same color. Not me forgetting which color I rolled, but I think these 2 are the same color, and I know these 2 are the same color. So that is interesting. I'm really hoping we get at least a little bit of pink and purple on this side just to balance it out. But let's go roll again and find out. Okay, cross your fingers for me that this is going to be pink or purple or at least blue. What is that, 3? Oh, that's green again. This color green. Okay, how many rounds? 4. Okay, I don't think that this is going to be enough for 4. I know this is not going to be enough for 4, so we will be back to roll again in just a bit. Okay, working on the last couple rounds of this, and the whole thing is going to be green and blue, which we'll talk about later, but these just came in the mail. I felt like my other compression gloves were just a little bit too loose to really provide the full support that I want. And these came in an extra small and they're pink. So let's open these up. They do say arthritis gloves, and I don't have arthritis, at least not yet. But let's see how these ones fit. Ooh, they are tight. They are quite tight. Also, I have little tiny baby hands, so these are too long on me. I will have to cut these. I did with my other one as well. I am afraid with this material, because this is like a more fabric-y material, whereas my other ones were more like, what do you even call that? Like it's just like more shiny type of material, where the ends didn't fray as much. These will probably fray, but these are way too long for me. Why didn't I think about that? But the compression that these are giving me is much more. I can feel so much more than the other ones. So maybe these will be good. But yeah, I am gonna have to cut these off to have like any use of the tips of my fingers. Okay, I finished both sides. It is seamed together. So moment of truth. I'm going to put this on and see how it looks. Okay. Okay. I feel like the kombucha girl right now. I'm like, I don't know. I think I like it. I don't know. I do kind of wish at this point that there wouldn't have been any pink and purple on this side, and then it would have made a little bit more sense. But as it is, it's kind of cool. It's kind of funky. So I think I decided that I really want both of the cuffs and the little center section to all be the same color as each other. Let me move around and we'll talk more about it. Okay, so like I said, I do just think it'll add a little bit of cohesion to this sweater to have the cuffs and the middle section all be the same color as each other. I don't know. I think that just for me personally, I will like that better. The problem is, of the colors that we have left, only these three I will have enough of to be able to do that. And since I ended on the blue with this one, I don't really want to do that. So that leaves us with these two, which are pink and purple, which I didn't get a whole lot of on here, but I'm hoping maybe with it being one of these two colors, it will kind of make it a little bit more cohesive, or it might just look terrible. I don't know at this point. And so since I only have these two colors to choose from, what I'm going to do is roll just the regular dice. And if I get a 1 through 3, it'll be the purple. And if I get a 4 through 6, it'll be the pink. So let's go ahead and roll. Okay, last roll of the video. What's it going to be? 2. So it is going to be the light purple. Interestingly enough, we didn't get this color at all in the rest of the sweater, but hopefully it looks good. I don't know. We'll see. Well, guys, my cardigan is done, and the verdict is I love it. Now, yesterday, I truly thought that I was going to hate this and never wear it and want to like throw it in the garbage, but in the end, I think it actually came together. I think it's kind of funky, kind of cool. Now, this cardigan does have mixed reviews in my household. One of my daughters likes it, one of my daughters hates it, and my husband thinks that it's the ugliest thing on planet Earth. So be sure to tell me what you think about it. You're not going to offend me because I actually really like it. Truthfully though, there are some things that I would change. What I don't like about it is how much of this kind of, what do you call this type of green? I don't even know, like army green. It's a little bit too much. I think that it kind of dominates this side in particular. It's just too much. So if I were to do this experiment again, I would first of all have less color choices. I'd probably do like a max of 12. I think 20 was too ambitious. And then I would also do less rows. I think 6 was just too many. I'm thinking 4 would be a good max number, maybe even 5. I think 6 was just, it was too many. Other than that though, I really do like it. I made this one just a tiny bit more oversized than my last few. I made the cuffs a little bit bigger and it's just like a little bit longer, but I really like that. Now, is it the appropriate season for me to be wearing this right now? No, I am currently sweating, but I know that I will get wear out of this once fall and winter rolls around again. I am also really, really glad that I went with one color to do the cuffs and the border. I think that really brought it together. Now I did just do a single crochet border around the whole thing. I was going to do a whole ribbing section like I did for my last Hexagon cardigan, but at that point I was like, I don't even know if I like this, and I'm not spending hours and hours and hours to do a ribbing if in the end I'm not gonna like it. So I did just do a single crochet border, but then in the end I actually really like both the sweater and the single crochet border, so it worked out great. Now it is still curling a little bit in some sections. I did steam this, I haven't washed it yet, but I have found with other sweaters that I've made that eventually they do kind of settle down, especially once you wash them a few times, so I'm not too worried about that. As far as how much yarn I used up, this was definitely a win. I used up 5 total colors, plus I put a dent in a bunch of the other colors. I feel like my shelves are looking a lot less packed back there. Maybe not a lot, but at least somewhat less packed, so that was definitely the goal. This project was really fun overall. I did have my doubts along the way. Yesterday, I was, like I said, not sure that I made a good choice, but in the end, I'm really glad that I did this. There is something really fun about rolling the dice and you don't know what it's gonna be and taking a little bit of that decision making off of your hands. Would you ever try rolling to make a scrappy cardigan like this? What changes would you make for yours? And of course, if you've made it to this part of the video, I want to know, what were you working on as you watch today's video? If you did like today's video, be sure to hit the like button. You can subscribe, stick around, let me know what other kind of videos you wanna see next. You can join my Patreon where I make a bonus video as well as an exclusive pattern once a month. And thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time. Okay, gonna take this off. I am sweating.